Previously on Survivor. James and Bittner found idols to quickly help their game.
We finally got this around my neck.
We found this. The first hidden immunity idol of the game.
The challenge led to tumbles and drops, sending Bayani to the first tribal council, where Ray felt like he was pulling the strings.
So overall, everything's falling in place for me.
But was blindsided with Hunter being voted out. 19 are left, who will be voted out tonight.
So, just got our first tribal.
There was a snake amongst our ranks.
So, initially going in, we thought we had a 6-4 majority. We thought it was going to be me, you, Joey, Randy, Teo,
And Ray was going to be the sixth.
However, when we left tribal, there was only 5 votes for Will, which means one of us wasn't telling the truth. I'm personally inclined to think it was Ray.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes the most sense.
It makes the most
It's
sense.
either him or Taylor. It's Teo.
Yeah, it has to be one of those two, but I'm thinking Ray, so it's good to know that we can't trust everyone.
Yeah.
My alliance told me to vote for Joey, to vote Joey out from the first tribal. But I kind of forgot, to be honest. I forgot who I was allied with, who were my trusted friends and who were my supposed enemies. So I kind of voted Harrison. It was weird. More of a honest, off-the-cuff decision. So now Hunter is mad at me for, I guess, obvious reasons, since he was the one who told me that I needed to vote for Joey. But I wasn't really paying attention. I was still thinking about all the DSP stuff and my homework and all my other that's happening in life. And I might have a target on my back for the next tribal. We'll see. I also heard whispers that Ray was one of the people who betrayed the alliance on purpose. So he may also be the first one to get cut next. We'll see how long I last. To be honest, I don't expect myself to survive much longer.
Okay, so first tribal just happened. It was a fun time, I got voted 4 times. When he was doing the first votes, and it was Hunter, me, and then Harrison, I was like, oh, I'm fine. Because obviously someone messed up. Whoever had the intention of voting either one of us out messed up by not getting everyone on the same page. And it's it was kind of stressful, I guess. I think I was smiling in the background of that video because I knew there was not a chance that I was gonna get voted out. You know what I'm saying? People played themselves with this one vote so much, and all I had to do was sit back and watch it happen. So definitely some drama unfolded. It's gonna be a lot of fun playing it out in the next coming weeks. I don't think there's really gonna be a big tribal issue yet. I don't think our tribe has beef per se yet. But if we lose 2 challenges in a row, things could get really messy really quick.
I think the minimum sort of bar for success for me is getting to the merger, because my pledge son and pledge grandfather are on the other team. and I would derive a lot of happiness from ending their Survivor seasons. I'm already kind of making inroads with people on the other team because I'm kind of not super threatening to them yet. Hopefully that works out okay. But I'd like to see them voted off as soon as possible, because then I get to tell them that it was me, and that would make me really happy.
Vintner seems like kind of a snake. I really don't trust him at all. And Beef, I know is like everyone's favorite, like charismatic guy, but I'm not buying it for a second.
So far in the game, I've aligned myself most closely with Beef. We have decided we want to have a fun time this season as our third time playing. Have a little bit of chaotic energy and maybe be the villains this season behind closed doors. I think I can trust him thoroughly. He's betrayed me in the past, but not to a point that I can't trust him now. And I think he's genuine in saying that he wants to work with me. So I think he's probably my final two towards the end.
So, look, my initial strategy was to try to kind of maybe reconnect with my old guys, Bittner and Eisner, from 3 or 4 seasons ago. That's obviously a risky strategy, considering how that alliance ended. Was with the 3 of us getting consecutively voted out after just Eisner trying to make too big of a move. And quite frankly, I don't really trust Bittner at all in Survivor, because we've just committed and decommitted to working with each other so many times in past seasons that I'm just not sure if I'm willing to do it and take that risk. I walked down in the basement and he and Carp were playing Die. I heard a little Survivor game talk going on, and it sounded like my name came up. So instead of walking into the room, I kind of stood to the back. And in that conversation, while Bittner wasn't saying to vote me out by any means, it was kind of a, don't trust him. In fairness, my strategy last season was be allies with literally everyone, so that's totally reasonable of Bittner to tell Carp not to trust me. But it's a little backhanded considering that he wants me to trust him. So I think I'm out on that. I don't think it's going to be a good combo.
Already, Jeff's told me that Matthew Bittner is planning to vote me out this week in Survivor. Maybe sees me as an early threat. I don't really know. I don't really see it. I'm the shortest guy in the team, maybe not the most athletic, but I definitely am good at some challenges, just puzzles, and stuff where it takes a lot of gusto and courage to keep up with the challenge. I think I'm there on that. So I don't really understand his push to get rid of me unless he really sees me as a threat socially within the game. When it gets down to Final Four, I will probably try to vote myself out. Even though you can't vote for yourself, I'll just have my teammates hopefully vote for me. But it's more of a team effort, I think, right now than a solo endeavor in this game. And hopefully that stays. Just because I think, this whole experience is about doing Survivor with your friends and building them up in certain ways. And I think, it doesn't have to necessarily end with me winning for me to come to a happy conclusion.
So, for today's challenge, it's a puzzle challenge. Let's go! Up near Jojo's cave, there's 5 bags of pieces. One at a time, you will run up, grab a bag, come back down. Then the 6th person to run will run up, and there is a key tied on the railing outside Jojo's cave. That will unlock the last 3 pieces to the puzzle, which is in that box. Then, because there's 9 of you, the 3 people that did not run are the only 3 that are able to solve the puzzle. It is a 4-word phrase. So once again, because everybody is a busy bee and can't be together at the same time, the 2 tribes will be running this separately, and I will record the times and announce them later. Survivors ready? Yes. Go!
How are those nuts?
They're pretty good. They're not too bad.
So it was around this point that I realized I might have made the puzzle a little bit too hard, and so then I gave both teams at the 45-minute mark a hint.
Hard to see which one was frequent, and then you know at least
did that.
sorcerer.
Crescent. You know, song related. Yeah, I don't know any of the songs, but we can actually spell some type.
So due to me having to reset the challenge for the other team to go after this team was done, I had to put a hard stop to the challenge at 90 minutes.
4, 3, 2, 1, stop. Do you have any guess as of right now? No. Alright, cool. That challenge is over. Thank you guys.
What is it?
Can I make a guess? It doesn't work. The Crescent Silver Horns.
So I know this is a reference that almost none of you guys will understand, but essentially this is a lyric to a song that we all had to learn in order to join the fraternity. So I gave them the hint that this phrase was fraternity related, and with that they could have gotten this lyric.
God damn it!
Alright, so.
We have the crescent!
Survivor ready! Go!
Let's go, Randy!
I'm just afraid I'm gonna like end up seeing like a side by side. It's like me 20 seconds after the other person left.
Man's doing his laundry in the chat.
Big laundry. I really need to do this laundry too. I'm excited.
Can't be Lily, it can't be Father Lily, it can't be the green.
Wait, what?
I've gone through
Samuel Eels.
There's no. Yeah.
How many? There's 2 L's, right?
There's no head. There's not. Rise. I think. Oh! Wait, Silver Crescent. Silver Crescent.
Horns! Oh my god, increase! Whatever it is. No. Silver Crescent Horns increase. No,
Wait, Silver Crescent. So we got the silver, we got the crescent, right? The silver.
No, come on!
Wait.
You guys are such bad pledges!
The Silver Crescent's horns.
Alright, so being completely honest, the phrase was the Crescent Silver Horns,
The Crescent Silver Horns increase, dum-bum.
which they did not get. But this is also when my camera ran out of storage, as well as this was on hour 5 of recording this night, and I was the only person left, so we had no backup footage. I decided to give Bayani the win for this challenge because they were only seconds away from rearranging the words into the correct phrase. Also, they were just way ahead of where Caliban was at this point, which means Bayani wins immunity, and Caliban will be going to their first tribal council.
It's interesting to see the dynamics. It didn't necessarily feel like a team, though, I would say. Like, it didn't seem like we were rallying around each other, which I think is very important for winning challenges. When you come into the room, it's like greeting everyone, making sure everyone's like excited. You're like, you know, this is how we're gonna play today, I'm excited, whatever. And it's not going around and having all of like your secret conversations like out in the open, because then I think that creates like a lot of mistrust, especially like preemptively right before a challenge.
I'm super neutral. Like at this point, I know that I'm probably going to be targeted by some people, so whatever you want, I'm just going to do.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I'm thinking at this point, like for our like group, I think the safest thing would be either Sam or Andy.
What I'm thinking that, like, what about one of the young guys though? They're going to play more aggressively than we will because they don't really.
Okay, so you think we bring Sam and Andy in
I think it's easier to pull in than a young guy because like it's more exciting to like make a splash if you've never done it before.
Okay, we have Fields vote.
Yeah, Fields we can finesse.
No, Bittner has his vote locked down.
We don't need to worry about Bittner.
No, we don't need to worry about Bittner. So we have a majority. We have a majority.
She's gone. Okay. If it comes to, I would also give that, but we should just see like how it's looking. Okay. We'll figure it out. Okay. I'll just tell Jeff when I see him now. Oh, okay, it's back. We decided to carve.
I need to provide some drama in
Yeah, cool. I think we should really keep our eye on Sam though. I really don't like the way he's been playing it. So.
Well, I'm also suspicious of Saturday and the actual.
I mean, they're going to work together.
We don't need to decide yet, but we should just be paying attention to these two people. If either of them talk to you guys, we should all talk about it.
We should get a read on who they want to get at anyway. It's my read is that it's probably me or Bittner, maybe you.
Probably you, Bittner, or me.
But if we can like protect you for a while, that would come in handy. Because then we also like pull up a nice tease you won't fuck us over.
Hopefully that's the goal, right?
Alright, so for now then, plan on go to card unless we talk about it otherwise.
Cool. Yeah, that sounds cool.
Sounds good.
So I did not fill out the when is good, which means that I can't go to tribal tonight, which is a little concerning because I think Zeisner might be gunning for me. We had a pretty weird interaction after the challenge last week, so I'm definitely worried about what my absence might mean for me tonight, but hopefully I can trust the people who I've talked to have my back.
We're about 40 minutes away from our first tribal council, and I'm not entirely sure how this is going to go. I think most people are on board to be voting Max Karp out. We decided him because everyone was on board for it, and was okay. No one was very close to him and aligned with him. And also we think he's going to end up being very good at this game. He's really well liked. He's really good at challenges. Once he figures this game out, he's going to get really dangerous. So hopefully that's the way it goes. Luckily, I've got this little beauty right here, just in case. It will be being played no matter what. I did also just get a call from Beef. He said that little Sam told somebody else that they were going to be voting for me, or that he was going to be sending a vote my way. So we'll definitely be playing this. I don't think Beef and I are getting played right now, but even if we are, luckily I'm safe. So hopefully this goes right.
I think I'm safe this week. I've been kind of executing my strategy of individually talking to pretty much every player in this game and reminding them that if they let other people know that they're talking to me, that will really hurt their game, because then it looks like they're talking to someone who won the previous season, which obviously is like kind of a bad look. It makes them look like they're scheming and trying to make moves in a kind of sketchy way. So I'm basically saying like, hey, really bad for you to tell everyone you're talking to me. Also, you're the only person I'm talking to. And it's allowing me to get a lot of information from a lot of people, and they think I'm in a lot of like one-on-one very trusting alliances.
Well, I've made a lot of like weak alliances with people, I would say, and some definitely like way stronger ones. I would say my strongest one right now is with Jeff, and we're like thinking of recruiting 2 other of the younger guys to be with us, and to kind of, we have like a lot of long-term strategies, I guess, we're thinking of right now, but we want to like have like a solid team of 4 to like at least carry us through a lot of these like initial votes. So that means making sure everyone within our own small team right now feels included in votes, except for maybe the few people that we're voting out. But those few people, I think, believe that they are very much aligned with people, but because they've had so many conversations, I think people are not trusting them. And that person I'm referring to is Bittner. I just think he already has a target on his back, and he put one there by finding the idol so early and being so open with it. And I think how he's playing is a little bit reckless with this idol, and trying to form bonds off of it early, but these bonds feel very inauthentic because of how he's doing it. I think that makes a lot of people not trust him. And I think for that reason, and there's a lot of people dissuade from working with him, especially because it's so initial and everyone's like, who's the players I can trust, who are the players I can't trust, and seeing this like mere glimpse of a moment of like, I can't trust.
In regards to the tribal council tonight, I'm feeling pretty safe. I think my closest allies, Beef and Zach, I think we have a good plan set up, and I think it will go just our way. I don't think any of us are really in danger. We've seemed to keep our alliance kind of under wraps and still being able to make moves, but I guess we'll see what happens tonight.
So Sam has informed me that I'm definitely on the chopping block tonight. My suspicions about Zeisner and Binner and Towels turned out to be very correct. I think it was when Zeisner told me to vote for Andy, and I very clearly was not a fan of that idea. I think they started to see me as a threat. They don't even know how much of a threat I am, because I am going to rally the guys against them tonight. Hopefully, either Zeisner or Bittner will be sent home. If not, someone is seriously snaking me.
Alright, so we got our first tribal coming up right now. I'm a little nervous that somehow I'm just gonna get, but I think it's gonna be fine. So we'll see how that goes. I guess we're finally gonna figure out where all the new guys' alliances lie, because I really have no idea what's about to go down. So we'll see.
Bittner and his group are gonna be voting for Carp. So me, Z, Carp, Fields, Beef, maybe Andy, and hopefully one more. We're gonna all vote for Zeisner. We're gonna tell them we're voting for Carp so they don't get suspicious, so Bittner doesn't play as idol for Zeisner, but we'll be voting Zeisner out hopefully tomorrow.
So it does seem like we have the votes to get rid of Zeisner. That will be who I am voting for tonight. Beef has personally assured me that we're fine. He said he pulled some strings to keep me in this game. Guess we'll find out how far the myth of Jeff Berkowitz goes. He's won this game before. He certainly seems to feel like he's running this shit. So guess we'll find out what's going on tonight. I would be surprised if I got sent home, but it would also not come as a complete shock.
As Survivor, fire represents your list. When you have fire, you're still in the game. When your fire goes out, so are you. First things first, how was the challenge?
It hurt my ego a little bit, not gonna lie. It always sucks stepping up and not being able to perform, so.
I think Andy enjoyed it less than the rest of us.
Yeah, admittedly, at least two of us never gave up. At least there was that.
You did step up to that position, yes?
Yeah.
And how did it feel to not give the win to your tribe?
Wildly disappointing and frustrating.
I was more pissed that we got the crescent and it didn't get the rest.
Yeah.
I think at some point we might have had silver as well, but
we did have silver at one point.
Because it felt like we were doing solid in terms of actually solving a word puzzle, but not solving an Alpha Delta puzzle.
Right.
Yeah. Which was disappointing in a different way. Like at least we were able to see the letters and say, oh, crescent is a likely word here, but really just disappointing. I couldn't figure the rest out.
Swartz, do you think that a large part of the blame of why you guys are here falls on the three people that did the puzzle, and is that going to influence today's vote at all?
Not at all. I mean, I was looking at it the whole time also, and I had not a clue about the crescent, so.
Yeah.
Tom, do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I think it, like we had a good combination of three people. We had a good combination of two people, and I tried his best. And I don't know. I don't think if we had any different like permutation of the group, I don't think it would have gone differently. It was just a hard challenge, and like that's how it goes.
This is a season where you know everybody coming in. You're already friends with everybody coming in. So, do you want to like talk about that a bit?
Yeah, absolutely. I think like knowing people definitely adds a challenge, and also phones add a challenge because plans can change really quickly, not in person. So you don't really know how to. If you're being lied to over a phone, it's hard.
You never know who's trying to bait you just to get something that's physical evidence they can screenshot to something else.
So that adds like a different layer of complexity. Also, like coming in, especially with some of the guys in my tribe, like Weiser and Bittner, we've all played together before. Andy, and we like know each other's tendencies and how we play the game. So
like there's obviously a lot of information to work with. I think there's probably targets on our backs because of that. So we're going vote to vote, and I think we can make it through.
Tom, Beef brought up a pretty good point of people have played the game before. You yourself have not. So does that influence how you're playing this season or any of your strategic moves going forward?
I try my best to sort of listen and pay attention to what other people are doing, and seeing how other people have been successful in the past. I've made my intentions pretty clear for the game to pretty much everyone, that like I really just want to screw over Randy and Harrison as badly as possible. So I don't know, I'm not really trying to play a game where I like piss off my teammates, right? So I think that affords me some sort of margin of error to like screw up and hopefully be okay.
You're a person that has played multiple times in the past. Do you think that puts a target on your back, or do you think it gives you an advantage in this game?
I think both. I think like Beef said, we know how the other people that have played before play. So, if we're trying to think of some strategy, if we're trying to think of how, 10 different people might vote, we definitely have way more insight into how that might actually end up playing. So there's an advantage there. Disadvantage, though, definitely adds a target on our back. If not now, as we're trying to figure out this the tribe dynamic, definitely the moment we hit the merge. The moment if people like Andy, myself, Beef, who's won before, Andy who's made it to the end twice, Teo, who he's always a target, make it to the end, things are gonna get interesting.
Eisner, living in the house does give you kind of an advantage because the house is the only place where items can be hidden. Do you feel that disadvantage affecting the game a lot, living off campus?
A little bit. I mean, last time I played, I spent probably 10 hours in the first week looking for the idol. I did it and didn't find anything. I didn't find a clue, but I think I've decided, especially because I was sick last week, better uses of my time would be strategizing and making sure that I am safe in the game with who I know and who I talk to rather than finding idols. So yeah, a little bit disadvantaged, but I'm not super upset about it.
Tom, have there been any rumors about who has an idol or if they've been found on either tribe?
I don't know what you're talking
Take that out right now. Just put that right there. So I went looking for this almost immediately. My game, if anyone knows my reputation attached to Survivor, my reputation is attached to idols. I looked for them a lot in my first season, and that's part of what got me voted out. And then I was like, then last season I refused to look for them until all of a sudden I needed them, and then decided not to play and got voted out with one in my pocket, kind of intentionally, but that's another story. So I went into this season wanting to find the right balance between the two, but I also really didn't want to get voted out first. So I said I'd come find the idol and then play it for the very first vote, so here we are.
So you do have the intention to play it?
Absolutely, I do not want to be voted out first. Don't care about next week, just not this week.
And Beef, do you trust them to play tonight?
I don't know. I mean, look, Bittner, like you said, he's messed around with idols before. I mean, the moment he's alluding to last season by not playing it, I was one of the people that voted him out. I don't plan on voting for him tonight. Others might be planning on it. I don't blame him at all if he plays it tonight to secure himself. I probably would on myself.
I'm just really interested to see where all the new guys end up voting. I don't have much of a intuitions to who they're all going for, so it should be interesting.
My gut tells me if this vote is pretty evenly split, then everybody's doing what I thought they would be doing. If the vote's largely going one way, then I have a lot of reevaluating to do about the next few weeks.
Swords, do you want to add anything about that, being the youngest one here?
I am the youngest one here. No, we'll just see how the vote goes tonight.
See, Pulaski, it's that kind of statement that makes me worried. That being said, I think one of the dynamics on our tribe that's definitely prevalent is people who've played and people who haven't played, and we'll see if that is something that factors into the voter round.
Interesting. We said that there's an advantage in knowing how other people play and having played with them before, but there's almost a disadvantage in assuming you know how people you haven't played with are going to play based on how you played with other people. Like these new guys that are playing could choose to go an entirely different route than we've ever even seen before.
Tom included, by the way.
Oh yeah, Tom included. Yeah, ultimate wild card over there. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see where the votes land.
All right, so now it is time to vote. I will write in for the 5 that are not here. Don, you're up. If anybody has a hidden immunity idol and would like to play, now would be the time to do so. For myself, please. For yourself? Yeah. All right. So the rules of Survivor state that when an idol is played, the person who plays it will be immune from that tribal. This is a hidden immunity idol. Any votes cast for Bittner will not count.
Not me.
And with that, I'll tally the votes. First vote.
Oh no.
Max Carp. Carp. It's 3 votes Carp, 1 vote Zach Eisner. We are tied.
Oh.
3 votes Eisner, 3 votes Carp.
Oh.
No. 3 votes Carp. Eisner, that is 6. That is enough. Second member voted out of Survivor. If you could relight your candle, please.
That's not what I expected to say.
Snakes.
Eisner, the tribe has spoken.
Brutal.
Fucking no. I voted for Carp.
From the 4 of you guys left here, sounds like there needs to be some explaining to do. All of you guys, best of luck to you. Hope you guys get on the same page. And thank you.
Big oof, man. Well, I know that the people that I trusted didn't vote for me based on how it turned out. So I'm assuming it was me, Beef, Tom, and Bittner that voted Carp, and everyone else voted me. I thought Sam was voting Carp, but he fucked me last time also, so I'm not surprised. I'm just upset because I know Bittner's next, unless he finds the idol, and then Beef's afterwards, which is kind of the risk we knew coming into the tribe, but show goes on. There's always next year.
Next time on Survivor. Beef tries to talk his way back in with Bittner.
So like, there was nothing. So did you vote for Carp?
No, I voted for Eisner.
Okay, that explains. I was wondering why the last.
The chase for the idol is back on. And Carp finally gets a taste of power.
But the fact that him and Bittner are scared shows the strength of our coalition right now.
Find out next week on Survivor.